Like that. Oh look, it's going. Hi. Everybody say hi. Hi. This is the largest group we've ever done this with, and it's so exciting. Welcome to Team All for Love and all the other mini teams that consist here. My name's Danny Todd, and you need to know that I'm the craziest one of the bunch, and this video will be candid and fun. Hopefully you can get to know a little bit about us while you're here. I've been in business for almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in September of 2019, so in about 4 months. It's been an awesome 4 years. Yeah, it's been crazy. I'm a national director in Pure Romance. Our team is on the board of directors, so I serve on the board of directors with Pure Romance. I'm a corporate trainer. This has been like one of the most unexpected and satisfying work experiences of my whole life. These ladies around me are some of my favorite people, and their businesses are also booming and growing, which is why they're sitting with me today to share some training with all of you. So I want to introduce each of them. We'll start, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Hi, I'm Sarah Chapman. I've been in business a year and a half now. I'm currently sitting at director level. And what else do you want me to say about myself?
What's the reason you love and stay in business?
The reason why I stay in the Pure Romance business is purely the passion about, I thrive on education. That's kind of how I got into this business. I had no idea what the products were at all. And so I just want to be able to get out and share. And the one thing that I truly love and why it keeps me going is those women that keep coming back and say, you've changed my life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty
So,
awesome.
Yeah, that's why it keeps me going.
And what's your team name?
Team Sexy Confident.
Whoop,
That's my
whoop.
team name.
Yes. Okay, and then?
I'm Breanna DeShazer. I have also been in business about a year and a half, and I love doing this because it gives me an excuse to get out of the house and take my mom clothes off and
That's true.
I'm supposed to get dressed up.
But
Let's be honest. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I party naked. And gives me an excuse to get out of the house and do something for me that makes me feel like I am making a difference.
I love it.
With clothes on.
What's your team name?
Team Ignite.
Yes. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, I'm Jessica Berglund. I've been in business a year this month. I am at associate director level right now. And my reason for doing this is pretty much both of their reasons together. So I love the education. I love helping women. And I think that's part of just different than being a mom too, is that I know that I'm making a difference in people's lives, and I get that satisfaction of knowing that, and I just love when people tell me that I've helped them in some way, and so and then I get to not be a mom for a little bit, so a little bit of both of those.
I love it.
And my team is Team Lasting Love.
Lasting Love. I love it. You'll notice some mushy names of our teams because that's Team All for Love. For me, it's all for love. It's keeping people in love, making marriages last, keeping families together. So, all right.
Kimberly Stokes here. I am a senior consultant, kind of brand new at that. Been in business about 18 months, and I do this for the education. I wholeheartedly believe that education is knowledge, knowledge is power, and that it empowers women. And when our women are strong along with their partners, that they can change the world. So we can influence children and teach them proper knowledge. That we can improve the world, our neighborhood, our homes for the better. So we got to start somewhere, and why not start with us? So, yeah.
What's your team name?
Oh, we are Team Get It Girl.
Get It Girl.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm Katrina Stoffer. I'm senior consultant as well, so pretty new to this. Pretty new and not new. I've been in business for 3 years now. But
She's been with me almost since I started.
I've started and started over and started over. So the thing I love most about this business is you can truly do it as you want to do it and as it fits into your life, and about Pure Romance because it's here when I need it to be here. But why I keep partying, mainly I love the education part, but now I've quit my full-time job and to stay home with my baby. And so I love that I'm able to still contribute to the bills and as well as get out of the house since I'm stay-at-home mom kind of now. So
Yeah.
oh, and my team is Team Pure Hurricane.
I love it.
Nice.
Hey, I'm the Haley Jacobson.
The Haley Jacobson.
I am a senior consultant, and I like this business because of these women, and I get to meet people and make pervy jokes and get paid for it.
Let's be honest. The best part is she was the most shy person you would have ever met when she started, and she's not so much anymore. You're getting the first hand account of that. That's awesome. So we are not the only senior consultants and above on this team. We're missing some awesome women who are not able to make it today. We want to just mention we're missing Shaylia Johnson, who also has a team, Samantha Worden, Brandy Kirshner, Anne-Marie Kendall, and Whitney Branham. Some of you might be on their teams. They are all phenomenal leaders as well. Our team is obviously growing, and when it gets larger and larger and larger and people live in different places, it's difficult to get everyone in one place at one time. So we're missing them today, and we love them just as much as we love each other. So we're really excited to see what happens in the next year and to see how many of you might be sitting here with us to train the rest of the team as well. We do this video at least once a year. We actually are redoing this video right now in the middle of the year because when we did it at the beginning of the year, we only had 3 people that were able to show up, and obviously we have an expansive knowledge and awesome women, and it just continues to grow. So very exciting things. So pull out a pen and paper. We're going to share a lot of stuff. This video might get lengthy. You have every right and permission to shut it off. Now and again, you don't have to sit us down and watch us from A to Z. This can be something you listen to on your way to your full-time job, while you're getting ready in the morning, while you're cooking dinner. Everything you'll get in this video is very helpful, very effective to get you rolling in your businesses. So you'll probably want to take notes and jot down questions you got as you go along, okay? When you started, you probably received several emails, both from Pure Romance Corporate and maybe from a leader on your team. We want to mention that before we jump into any of this, because you have a lot of those resources right at your fingertips that you don't have to watch this whole video to receive. Everybody learns differently. We wanted to make sure we gave different resources for everybody to have access for what works for you, okay? And with that, we'll just jump right in. I'm so excited. Okay. So, probably one of the first things you're wondering is, how on earth do you tell people what you do? Did anybody here have that question? When you started, it was like, how do I talk about this? It's not, you're not a receptionist at the CPA firm, you're not the school teacher, you're not the gym teacher. You are now a Pure Romance consultant, and people aren't really going to understand what that is, and it's something that can cause a lot of stress. How do you share this? Ultimately, you're a business owner and you're a sexual health educator. That's something that I've felt confident sharing even in church, in an elevator, on the street. I am aware that even the word sexual health can be a trigger for some people. You can give it some different words if you feel like you want to soften that a little bit, but ultimately, I'm not ashamed to say I'm a sexual health educator. If it's a trigger for the other people, you can tell they're not going to want to go any further with that conversation, but sometimes it sparks conversation. You can get as deep as you want with them, but basically, you own your own business, you're a sexual health educator, and you can stand tall and strong with confidence, and that will bring good conversation with other people. So Sarah Chapman has some really good helpful information.
All right. So on your onboarding email, it tells you how to access the COO, which is your consultant online office. And while you're waiting for your kit to arrive, you can get some work started. And so 3 of those being, you're gonna get a name tag, labels, and your business cards, because you need to get set up, right? So when you go log into your COO, you're gonna go to the marketing tab, and under that, you're gonna see marketing resources, and then go order your name tag. Danny Todd has hers on, and so does Kim, and Katrina, and Jess, and wow, not all. Anyways, we don't all have them on, but hey, they're really pretty. We've got some like flashy ones, gold ones, silver ones, whatever your personality type is. It's great, right? Mine's just basic white and black. That's just how I roll. Okay, so you can jazz it up, whatever you want to do, just to make it your personality. And then the labels, actually, we have found Rotec, ROTECK.com is a great resource. You can get tons of labels for your catalogs and all your products, because you need to put your name and your phone number and your website possibly on all your products, because you want them to return back to you after they're done with their bottle of Coochie, right? So make sure you label everything that you give away, for sure, okay? So that's a great resource. And then the third thing is your business cards. So you're out and about, shopping, doing whatever, you're at the hairstylist, and they ask you what you do. What am I? I'm a sexual health educator. And then they're like, what's that? And so being able to give them something physical that says a little bit about what, well, obviously your name and your number, and then your website, and then if you want to add something else, you can totally add something else. But on the marketing tab, there's also a spot for getting business cards. So definitely those 3 things to get you kick-started to wait until your kit comes. Okay?
Yes. All right, after that, you're gonna wanna set up your email. Keep business and personal life separate, just for sanity reasons, honestly. All right, once your business email is set up, update your information on the COO, the Consultant Online Office, and then your Pure Ones emails are actually going to be sent to the promotional tab in your email. So you want to make sure that you go into promotion folder, right click on the Pure Romance email, and send it to your inbox. And when it asks if you would like those emails sent to your inbox in the future, say yes. All right, that way you're always connected with Pure Romance. You get your kit sales and your inventory sales and training and all that information in there. You'll probably get daily emails. It's not too much. They're quick and easy to scroll through, just to keep you apprised of all the information that is out there for us. So make sure that you're seeing them. But also, now that you're out there and you're a business owner, you are now open to scams, and they will come after you, and that's okay, because we're smarter than them. So somehow they just target the new consultants. We don't know how they get the information, but you'll get a text or you'll get an email, and it will have super bad grammar and ask for like $200 order up front, and to email them or to mail it to them first before you pay. But clearly don't do that. So
If it seems shady and you don't know them,
yeah.
and they can't use punctuation,
Good sign.
yeah.
It's usually
Yeah.
for someone else's wedding too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
always for a wedding that's coming up really quick.
Yeah.
So hurry, get it
And
to
they'll
me.
send you a money order, so just be aware.
No money orders. But if you do have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We can let you know if it's legit or not. So.
But along with that too, don't ever send product to anyone without them paying first, because that's a quick way to lose money, and you obviously want to make sure you're getting paid. So I've never sent anything to anyone, clients or not, if they haven't paid for it up front. But along with that, you're gonna want to keep your money and your personal money separate from each other. So any money that you're getting from outside orders or from parties, you want to keep that in an entirely separate bank account than your personal money. So that way, it's easier for you to keep track of the money that you're making with your business and keep all of your personal stuff separate. And then you can also pay yourself. So you know what you have to put back towards your business, and then you can pay yourself. There's 3 different buckets that we break like all of your money into, and that'd be your bills, your white, and your inventory. So that way, if each party or outside order, you can break your money into those 3 buckets. And you know you're paying yourself and you're paying money back to your inventory as well. You're going to be getting a Square credit card reader in your kit, and Pure Romance has negotiated specific rates so that you will actually make more money using Square. And then Venmo is another great option to get paid from your parties or outside orders. But you do kind of want to be careful with that as well, because Venmo will shut it off, right? If you're getting too much.
If they can see that you're using it for business.
Right.
So be careful.
I usually just have like my clients send me like a heart or like something not like pure romance or anything like that. So then that way your Venmo account doesn't get shut down. And keep your receipts. Every receipt that you buy, office supplies, anything for your business, just keep every receipt, so that way you can make it tax deductible when you do your taxes. And then for gas mileage and things like that, you definitely want to keep track of any mileage to and from parties, team meetings, team events, anything. Keep track of all that, because that's also tax deductible. TaxBot is an awesome app that keeps track of your mileage, and you can classify them and whatnot per parties and things like that. So download that app, and it's a great way to keep track of your mileage.
And the tax document that is in the All for Love files is awesome for putting it all together in one place.
An Excel sheet, yeah.
So,
And the
Especially if you
files
pace
part
it
of
through
our
the
team.
year,
Yeah.
it really saves time at the end of the year.
yeah.
Don't be like Danny Todd and wait until January 10th. Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay, so then you need to jump right in. So you should have a goal to book 6 parties in your first 30 days. Okay, by doing this, you're going to pay off your kit. You're going to start earning money right away. You're going to get practice, build confidence, and lay the foundation for your future business. So honestly, the sooner you jump in, the better. You're never going to be 100% prepared. You just got to jump in and get going, and that's the best way to do it. You're going to be nervous no matter when you start. So just get going. You're probably asking yourself, how the heck do I know what I'm going to say? So shadowing is awesome, okay? Obviously, you can shadow your sponsor, and that's great, but it's good to see other sponsors as well, other girls' parties, because really your party is your own. You get to do whatever you want, and that's what is awesome about this business. And so seeing how people do things differently, and you can pick and choose what you want to do and put your own spin on it. And so shadow at least 2 different people is a great way to get started. And make sure that you're checking out Party School. So that is on the COO under the training tab. Go down to Party School, and that's going to answer most of the questions that you're going to have getting started, including what to wear, how to dress. You got to think that corporate has prepared that there might be people joining that don't have a sponsor, and so they have laid out everything that you're going to need. And so Party School is awesome to get you going with that.
I love Party School. I should do it again. It's been a little while. I bet they
I always
changed
think
some
that
things.
too.
Yeah, so fun.
Okay, so now you want to know how to get your first parties, because we need to get 6 parties, like Jessica said. Okay, so one of the ways you can get your first parties is is it a document? It's a who do you know list, and it's like, I feel like there's like 40 different blank spots to fill in different people. And then you'll want to connect with Frank. So remember, you think of friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and then like your kids' acquaintances. Not the kids, but like their parents, because that's weird.
Like from soccer
Yeah.
or play dates.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can always have your own party, okay? Like, do it monthly. If you can't get a party, it's fine, it happens. And then you can also do online party for exposure. It gives you practice and allows you to reach people you wouldn't otherwise, especially if you have lots of people you know, like out of state or things like that.
I remember one of the other leaders who's not here, Brandy Kirshner, came from a party that came from exposure from an online party. Someone who felt comfortable watching a party in her own home. There's anxiety that comes from going to a party to talk about sex with other people.
Especially if you've never been.
Especially if you've never been. Yep, they don't have a concept. People think we're doing all sorts of crazy things at these parties. And so this online party idea gives people the chance to watch it in the comfort of their own home. They have the safety of knowing they can just push the X button if they don't like what's happening. But someone watched my first online party, and I didn't realize until 6 or 7 months later when she booked a party with me, that's why she felt comfortable, was seeing it online. And then she brought me into her home, and that's where I met Brandy Kirshner. So every party leads to something you just can't even imagine, and exposure is the most important thing.
Another really good resource is a free app called Puresale. It's compatible with Apple and Android devices. it's such a good tool. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it for you, as far as tracking inventory, tracking your parties. It also does a lot of the math for you, which is really nice. So you input your sales tax, which depends on your city and state, because that's the technical address of your business. So you can just Google that, just Sandy, Utah sales tax, and it'll pull it right up, and then you can input that under the settings tab in the Puresale app. And then when you're at a party and you're putting items into an order, it will do all of the math for you. It'll add all of the products up together, give you a subtotal, and then it will from there add the sales tax. And it also adds a shipping and handling fee. It's a $7 flat rate. Doesn't matter how many items are in the order, how much the retail sales add up to. There's a $7 flat rate fee on every order, and that's to cover the amount of money that you are paying to get that inventory to you in advance. But it also, the handling part is good to know. It's all included because yes, we pay for shipping to get it to us, and yes, sometimes we pay for shipping to ship items to other people if we didn't have them in stock. But handling is also included in that, and it's kind of to help pay yourself, because it's a lot of work to carry that inventory in and out of parties and make sure you have that and you're keeping your store stocked. So the $7 flat rate fee is to make sure that you are covered for shipping and handling on all orders.
Yeah, it's funny how the shipping and handling thing became very real for me when I joined, because it was like the inventory doesn't organize and label and manage and handle all of itself, right? So it's your time, it's your effort, it's all the grunt work that other corporations pay to be handled. So this is you paying yourself.
Let's be honest, after your first party on a third floor walkout,
Yeah,
be asking for a little bit more than $7.
Yeah, I gave Breanna a party a couple months ago, and she looked at the address and she was like, "Thanks." It was a third story, and I was like, "You're welcome."
No elevator. It's always fun.
Yeah, I've done that in LA where you have to like park clear down the street.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not.
And sometimes in those situations, this is totally just candid to realize you don't have to take your stuff into people's homes. I know a lot of consultants. Do you just leave it in your car?
Mm-hmm.
So tell everybody, how does that work at the end of the party when people order? How do you work it leaving your stuff in your vehicle?
So I just leave it in my car because I don't care to carry pounds and pounds of
Show
stuff.
them your muscles.
Really? So I just leave it in my car, and what I do is anyone that needs to leave right away, I'll take their orders, and if they're like in a big rush, we can just walk out to my car together. If no one's in a rush, I'll just take everyone's order, and they can either walk out with me, or I just stack them up on my arm and fill each order, and then take them back in.
Yeah.
I just learned something today from Haley Jacobs.
Get it right. No big deal.
The best part about this company is you literally have permission to do anything and everything you want, as long as you stay moral, ethical, and
Professional.
you don't cheat or steal from anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's nodding.
Yeah.
You do have to stay clothed while you're partying. Breanna learned that the hard way. I had to call her and have a conversation. Okay, so how do you make your money? Obviously, I think everybody joins this business because you're wanting to make more money. And money is very possible here. So it's just a matter of knowing how to make it and how to maximize it. So to make it simple, let's say this is a bottle of Coochie. Okay, somebody wants a bottle of Coochie. It's $20, okay? Somebody's going to pay you $20 for this bottle of Coochie. So you receive that $20, you turn around and go to the COO to buy that bottle of Coochie, and you're buying it with your discount. Your buying discount depends on the kit that you bought, but just for easy math, let's say you have a 50% buying discount. So if somebody gives you a $20 bill for a bottle of Coochie, you go to the COO, and it only costs you $10 because you get a 50% discount. So that other 10 is what you pocket, okay? So that's how you make money. That's also why these emails that Kim mentioned, consultants get daily emails for our own personal discounts. So it's very rare that you will buy inventory with only your buying discount. If you're watching these daily emails with sales, there's going to be additional like 5, 10, 15% off. Sometimes there are shipping sales, you'll spend less on shipping. So if there's a sale that you get that adds to your buying discount, that's just more money in your pocket. So that's how you maximize that, okay? So let's talk about building inventory. Inventory will make your business. It's a matter of, just like any store, if Walmart built a building but they didn't stock their shelves with anything, it's unlikely people would shop there, okay? It's not required for you to have inventory, but I think everyone at this table would tell you that you will make more money when you have inventory, okay?
Yes.
For 3 reasons. You're going to sell more. Pure Romance knows you will sell 150 times more if you have the stock with you. These women get impulsive. You just got them excited about these exciting, sexy things, and they want to take the stuff home. I have lost sales if I didn't have it on me. I think we all have at some point. If somebody comes in the shopping room and she's like, I want
Perfume. I never had those.
okay, let's say it's the Flirt perfume. I want a Flirt perfume. And you're like, okay, I don't have any in stock today. She's like, okay, then never mind.
It's $59.
It's a $59 item, okay?
You can tell I lost it.
She's like,
It's because it's aerosol, so it takes longer to ship.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, never mind. And then I was
oh, dang it, yes.
Don't do that.
See, so I mean, if we go a more extreme level, if they want a main attraction, if you just showed a main attraction, that's a $189 toy. She comes into the room and she's excited to take that main attraction home. When you tell her, I don't have it tonight, I'm gonna have to ship it to you, she's gonna go, never mind. Okay, it happens. Not all the time, but those moments suck. So have your inventory. You won't lose those. You'll sell more, and you won't lose any sales. Also, you'll avoid back orders. I'm frustrated because I have a party tonight and a party tomorrow. I'm 3 hours away from my home. My order is arriving tomorrow, and I already know that I'm short on several things that I'm going to sell tonight and tomorrow, which means I have to go home and still manage all these orders to ship to them. The best feeling is when you can walk into a party, you fulfill every order, everybody goes home happy, you walk home, your hands are clean.
Yes.
You know they received their stuff, you don't have to pay or take the time to manage it and ship it again. So for me, back orders is probably the biggest reason that I love having an inventory, because it gives me all the time and freedom to hold orders until a good sale day, all those other good things. Also, I want to mention the fact that going back to those moments, if you don't have the item in stock, if you send people home without items they may have been excited about, the next morning there's usually a buyer's remorse. And you get the text and they say, I woke up and realized maybe I don't need that item, and because they've lived without it all their life until last night, they wake up in the morning and they're like, that $200 toy, I don't need it either. You know, now that I'm home, I realize that wasn't necessary. There is a no return policy. It's pretty universal for novelty items. Any boutique would say the same thing. Novelty items are a no return policy. Those conversations, again, are just really crappy to have, because she's assuming if you didn't send it home with her, there's still that wiggle room of it's not too late to cancel. You know, Danny didn't send it home with me. That means if I catch it in time, she can return the money. So just save yourself those situations, because the answer will be, I'm sorry, it's a no return policy. Usually out of my own, what I choose for my own business, I let them have 50% off any one other item if they're unhappy with something. But return policy in general, there's no such thing. Okay, so Just carry inventory. Yeah. But here's the thing, you're not just gonna buy inventory and buy inventory and buy inventory and buy inventory. Depending on whose inventory you've seen, if you've seen my inventory, I have a lot of bags. I've got a lot of inventory and I have back stock at my house. What you see in a party is only half of what I carry. That's because my monthly goal is $10,000 a month.
Sorry.
Haley Jacobson. Haley Jacobson also has a lot of inventory.
Yes, it's a little bit embarrassing.
So,
Maybe she has $10,000 month goals.
good. She
$10,000.
She better get up and move on them. So, there is kind of an equation to build your inventory properly. Don't just buy and buy and buy inventory, because if you're only going to party twice a month, it's unnecessary for you to carry the amount that I carry to party 8 to 10 times a month. The equation is 1.5 times whatever your monthly goal is. So if your monthly goal is to sell $2,000, you only need to carry 1.5 times that. That would be $3,000 of value in your inventory. Does that make sense? So if you have questions about that, you can reach out to your sponsor. We'll talk a little more about what to build in your inventory and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the inventory will make a big difference in your business, which ultimately makes you more confident, makes you feel stronger, more successful, and your business will roll from there.
I need more inventory.
Yeah, you do.
So you guys are probably like, Danny Todd is telling me to buy this inventory. I don't have any money. That's why I got into this business, right? Well, corporate has a plan for you, and it's called the Inventory Advantage Program, or otherwise IAP for short. And what this is, it's awesome because as you just starting off your business, basically you're getting inventory right on your front step as you get going, and you're not going to pay for it right up front, and you're getting 60% right buying discount off of this, which is incredible, right? highly suggest you do it. And basically you're getting $1,000 of product for basically over 5 payments of $79. So basically $395 is what you're paying for your $1,000 worth of product. Okay, really.
It's interest free.
And it's interest free.
They don't check your background. You don't have to have a credit check.
Yeah. So definitely claim this within your first 30 days. Get on it right away so you have this product to go to your first or second party. You have something that they can go take something home that night, be happy with it, and get the ball rolling. So,
Yes.
and also on our Team All for Love YouTube page, Danny goes into greater detail about this, so please make reference to that video for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And to opt into the IAP, you just have to have your 3 parties: your launch party, encore, and bestie. Put that in Puresale, and then that'll cue Pure Romance to send you an email to opt into this IAP. So 3
Makes
parties.
you eligible. 3 parties is all you need.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Eligible.
Thank you.
Eligible.
You're welcome. Eligible. So inventory, IAP, and now what do we stock up on, right? Well, the bestsellers. What's the bestseller here for most people?
Hand jive.
Okay.
Just like me.
Hand jive, just like
Wix.
me. Yes. It's easier to stock up on your heavy items because that way, like shipping, it works best that way. Yeah.
You would rather send a small item as a back order than a heavy item. Does that make sense? That's another good way to maximize your shipping money.
Yeah, because when you're shipping from your home, because you didn't have it at the party, you're going to the post office and you're paying for that extra weight, right? So you'd much rather send like
You want
what
to carry
she's
the heavy
saying.
stuff. Send them home with the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Also your popular items. So Danny's is hand jive. She sells hundreds upon hundreds of hand jives. She does. So hand jive and whip is something that she keeps well stocked on. Some others would be what is it? Opening apps is my top seller. Basic Instinct. That's a small one, but still, I think you kind of understand what we're saying.
If there are things you know you're going to sell because you love them or you have a good... The reason I sell hand jive is because my story in the story I tell, everybody loves it. Stories tell...
Stories sell.
Stories sell, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
But in general, lubricants, and coochie and body dew, things like that. You'll get the feel for the things people love, stuff that you know you'll sell. Just put some extra things of those in your inventory.
Yeah, and your own personal testimony, like if you've used coochie before, you started this business and you absolutely love it, your own testimony of that is going to sell that story. You're going to have the story of, I was super dry and then I used coochie and now my life is happier because I don't have reason for So your testimony, and then also your hostess. If your hostess absolutely loves one of the products that's in your demo, then ask her to share. What do you like about it? And then because your hostess is sharing that and not you, her friends are going to really attach onto that and say, oh, hey, I really want that. So those are probably going to be like your most popular items.
Testimonials are good. Let me make mention that you need to still keep a professional boundary.
Yes.
So when it comes to like Bath and Body, share all your personal testimonials. That's awesome. When it gets to more intimate things, if you're talking about bedroom accessories or bondage or who knows what, you can still tell stories of your own personal life, but put them in third person. So I've got a friend, or I know someone who, and you can tell them with all the emotion that you want to tell because it's your personal experience. But my thing is, whatever you tell them about your own life, they're either not going to want it because it reminds you of them of you, or when they do take it home, they're still just going to think of you. So
disconnect yourself from the story.
So you can share all the testimonials.
Sexy stuff, but really.
Yeah. Okay, so just make sure you're always professional with the testimonials you share.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you do not have a product in stock, and say you have a Friday party and there's a birthday the next week, or somebody wants it right away, and you don't have that item in stock in your inventory, you can always trade with another sister on our team or another team, but you don't want to steal from your store either. You want to make sure that you still are ordering that item when you place your order through the COO, and you're not just trading product to avoid placing an order. So trading is always an option. You can just contact anyone individually, messaging them or texting them or whatnot. We try to keep that off of like our team Facebook page. We don't trade on there, but if you contact anyone individually, then you can trade for whatever product that you need, so you can get it sooner. And then you'll just want to add it to your cart, your next order. And then what to carry your inventory in. You don't want to be lugging around your big boxes that you get shipped, all your inventory ships in, because that's kind of awkward. And so you just want something that looks very nice and professional, makes it look easy. Your very first impression to your hostess and to anyone that's coming to your parties is how you're presenting yourself and your inventory. So if it looks hard, they're automatically not going to want to join your team. They're not going to want to do what you're doing because it looks too hard. And so you want to simplify it and keep it professional. So I know a lot of us use like canvas tote bags with like handles on them. They're pretty cheap on Amazon. You can just keep your inventory in those. They look just nice and professional. I just use like plain black. That's just what I chose. But they're clean. There's no rips, no tears, anything like that. So then that way my shopping room looks nice and my inventory looks nice.
People are buying sex from you.
Yes.
Make sure you look like somebody they want to buy sex from, and make sure your store, which are your bags, look like somewhere people want to shop from. A place where they feel they can take home to use intimately from a nice, safe, clean, well-kept place.
Okay, so you want to make sure you're always reordering what you sell, especially if you're finding yourself needing to trade a lot, you're out of things that people are needing immediately, probably just need to be ordering more. And after every party, if you're selling a lot of one thing, you need to be reordering that. Going back to Walmart, if Walmart didn't have stock of what you needed at the store, you're not going to be buying from them, okay? So there's those items that you're selling a lot of, your most popular ones, keep those in stock and have probably a little bit of a back stock too, so that you're prepared for those orders. And you can definitely take advantage of sales and 6-packs and things like that to order more so that you can get a better discount. You're going to make more money that way, and then you have a bigger stock. So the most popular items like Coochie, Body Dew, all those, you can get in 6-packs. You get it in a 6-pack plus a special discount, then you're going to make even that much more money on it. So the 6-packs are a little bit cheaper, and then they have sales all the time, like we already mentioned. You're going to get emails about those. So if you're placing a really big order, like a 15% off is going to be awesome. If you're not ordering quite as much, then maybe a shipping sale with an extra discount is going to be better for you. But there's so many different options. Getting those sales is going to be where you're going to make most of your money, and that's going to really help you out. And the bigger the order you can get, then you're also saving on shipping a lot of the time. So that's going to help with those shipping costs.
So the helpful thing with that is to put your parties close to each other on your calendar. If you're someone who only parties 2 or 3 times a month, don't do it like Thursday, 3 weeks in a row, because after your first party, you'll probably have to order, and you don't have the ability to wait until your party the following week to put those two together. Does that make sense? So stack your parties close together. Maybe do like a Thursday night and a Friday night, or a Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. I like to party Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Those are my party days. And then at the end of those 3 parties, I just place one big order. So it does maybe make that work time a little more chaotic, but you'll make more money because your order is bigger, and you maybe have a little more freedom because of the way that all works out. So.
Perfect. Okay, so when you get your products, your really big order of products, or all the orders, you want to make sure you're labeling your products, like Sarah said. Rotech.com is great. They have waterproof labels, they have fancy labels. Make sure you're labeling them, so if I sell Coochie to Sarah, someone doesn't come back and be like, Katrina sells it to her too, because I didn't put my number on there. You'd lose out on a sale, and that would be really sad. You can also label your catalogs, business cards. Well, I guess your number would be on your business card. You don't have to label that. When people order from you, make sure you're keeping the orders confidential. Black bags are great. The cheapest place to find them is Sam's Club. If you don't have a Sam's Club membership, ask on the team page, and I'm sure there's a Sam's Club member around here somewhere. Okay. And then Office Max, we get a discount at Office Max. So we have a retail connect card. It looks like this. I printed it.
Printed it to show. Look.
I did.
So cute.
Oh, you can't even see it.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. So whenever you buy anything from Office Max, show them the retail card, and you get really big discounts, especially on printing things.
So tell them how you found that card.
It's,
Because you did the real card.
I did do the real
The
card.
real card.
It's on the COO somewhere at marketing, and then Office Max, and then I just printed off the page and took it in, and they laminated it for me
For free.
for free. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Danny just keeps a picture on her phone, and
I
so
just
they
have
can
it screenshotted, and then I keep it in my favorites and just show on my phone.
So
I do
any
the
of
same.
those. So
It's crazy how much we save though, and it's a corporate thing. So for example, one time I printed for the team, there was something I was printing, and the order would have been like $189, and it only cost me like $64. That's crazy, and it's really good printing. So take advantage of Office Max. Yeah.
Can I jump in on the label
I
thing
think so.
real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to. I got 4 parties just from a label on a catalog. So label like your samples, like everything. This
Yeah.
girl went to a party, took the catalog home, and her sister who lives with her, I got 3 parties after that. So like totally 100%.
And your sample foil packs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
those
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Foil packs.
absolutely.
Put your name everywhere.
Everywhere.
Blast it everywhere.
Somebody will find it in the trash and
Yeah.
they'll call you.
Right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about recruiting a little bit. I know that I personally felt it, and I know that a lot of girls feel it. When you first start out, you're watching this video, there's so much information. How could you possibly be leading anybody else? Be a leader to a team of your own. But the thing is, you can tag them in the video, and then they have everything that you have. And the biggest thing that made a difference for me trying to share the opportunity and recruit people to my team was not the idea of recruiting people to my team. It was the idea of sharing why is it that I'm doing what I do? Why is it that Sarah does what she does? There are different reasons that all of us join this business. Some people join for the money. Some people join to share the education. Some people share to take their clothes off and go party with other people. Right? Whatever your reason is, other people have their reason. And if you're choosing to not share the opportunity with them because you don't feel ready, it's just selfish to not give them that opportunity. Does that make sense? So once you look at it with a different mindset, once you look at it as, I'm not leading this person, I'm not their sponsor, their sole person or resource. Once you look at it as, I'm giving them the opportunity that I'm grateful someone else gave me, then it kind of changes that mindset, I guess. So recruiting doesn't need to be huge when you first start out, but it is important that you are mentioning to other people that they could be doing what you do, that they could be earning extra money, that they could be making new friends, that they could be sharing the education, whatever it is, showing them that they could do it too. And then another thing that really made a difference for me is knowing that just because I recruited a girl doesn't mean that Danny isn't going to answer their questions, or that Sarah won't help them, or things like that. They have all of the resources that you have right now, no matter who recruits them. So share the opportunity. Play a sponsoring game at your parties. Talk to people about what it is that you do, and leave that open to them. If they feel like it's something that interests them or something that might fit a need in their life, then you need to leave that up to them.
I actually get really emotional when I think about what my life would be without pure romance. And I think we all might feel that emotion to some degree for different reasons, because just like Breanna said, everybody joins for different reasons. Sometimes reasons come out of this business that they didn't even see were going to happen, right?
Yeah.
This business changed all of our lives in ways we couldn't have even foreseen, but it really is such a blessing to everybody who joins for different reasons, and that's why just share it. And also, I want to echo what Breanna said, the fact that when somebody joins your team, you're not their sole person, you're not their sole lifeline. It's not up to you whether they succeed or whether they fail. I think that's something that scares a lot of people, is that they think when people join their team, they're going to be responsible for them. You are not responsible for anyone. You'll hear us use the term #grownasswomen a lot. We all respect each other as our own people, and that's where the empowerment comes from. Anybody who joins this company has all the resources and all the capacity to make this business whatever they want it to be. I can't own any of these women's failures. I also can't own any of their successes. We share what we do, we share what we love, and everybody has the right to make it whatever they want of it, just like anybody you will meet as well. So we say sometimes, you don't want to ride the roller coaster alone. You jumped on this roller coaster, you don't want to ride it alone. The best, for me, what keeps me going now 4 years in the business are these women, these relationships, because business is hard. Being an entrepreneur and running this business, especially if you're in a conservative culture like many of us are here in Utah, some of you might be elsewhere, it can get very difficult, but the team is what gives you the support system. Just like when you're a new mom and you're trying to breastfeed, when you're in a new area and you're trying to make new friends, support systems give you strength. I'm thinking of all the big words: confidence, peace, like comfort, because it's not going to be easy, but that's what this is all about, and you can build your own. Bring those women onto your teams. It's the number one regret of people when they join this company is that they didn't start recruiting sooner. Did you hear Katrina? Took her 3 years. Has it been what you thought it was going to be?
After it started?
Yeah. Well, when you finally, now that you have a team, do you feel like you had fears that maybe you weren't?
Oh yeah, I had all the fears.
Yeah.
I had all the fears that it was all going to be on my shoulders, until I realized, like, it's up to them, it's not up to me. And I was being so selfish, keeping the opportunity from other people, because it's changed my life and helped me in so many different ways personally. So once I realized like I was being extremely selfish, and that kind of clicked. I mean, and now I've grown my team, and so now it's crazy to look back and like think about where I could have been if I would have just started 3 years ago.
Yeah. But at least you started now, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So the team is always going to be a lifeline for you. You've probably already been added to our Facebook group, and you're never alone. So we've still got more that we're sharing with you, but I just want you to pause for a minute and remember, all of us implemented these things at different points in our business. It doesn't mean everything we're sharing with you has to start right now today. I'm gonna be honest, you ready for this? I've never labeled catalogs.
Danny Todd. Oh my god.
Crazy.
And I'm right now shooting myself in the head because of what this one just shared. So just realize, okay, like, take it at your own pace, but also realize that you're never going to be alone. Your number one focus should be booking parties, okay? I just want to stop right now and just tell you that's your number one focus is booking parties. Everything else that we're sharing is just kind of above and beyond that for those of you that want to make this bigger and stronger. So keep in mind, this has been a conversation many of us have been having recently, because as these women are building their teams and you have more people on your team, and it can start to feel heavy and a little overwhelming when you're trying to balance family life and business life, and maybe you have another job, and maybe you're helping a family member who has health needs. Like, everybody has different lives, and I want to reiterate that you are your own business owner and you have the right to create business hours and to step away from your phone, things like that, okay? As leaders, each of us designate our team time in different ways. I myself have my Team Tuesdays. Tuesday is the day that I give shout outs on the team page. It's the day that I leave myself open. I don't make dentist or doctor appointments or other play dates, things like that. I want to make myself available so that when my team might call for a coaching call or they have questions, I'm 100% open. Many of these team leaders and the other ones who aren't with us might also share that Team Tuesday day. Some of our leaders don't do it on Tuesday. It's not specific to one day. It's just the concept of it. We hope that you'll realize that this business is something we want to do the best we can, but it's supplementing our lifestyle. I tell people all the time, if this business comes before my family in any way, shape, or form, it's defeating my purpose. So please respect your leader's designation of time, whatever it is. Talk to your leader and say, hey, is there a day that you would prefer I get in touch with you? I'm open every day of the week. When people have questions, you're always welcome to send those through text, phone, Facebook, whatever. Just realize if it's outside of Tuesday, I might not get back to you very quickly because I have 4 children and I have extracurricular activities and doctor's appointments to go to. But the best part is, coming back to the team thing, you have access to other people. You have other people with answers. And so if it's not on a Tuesday, in my case, a lot of my team will just go to the Facebook page and ask these questions. And you have very smart women all around you that have great answers. So yeah, in the search bar. Yes, that's true. On the COO, there are so many resources. So we want to empower you to find those answers and not just always be the hovering parent that answers them all. We hope that we can give you the strength and the know-how to find those things, okay? So if questions arise, you have access to the team. If you want a coaching call with your team leader, just call them and set that up, and maybe make notes of questions you have so that when you have that conversation, it can be effective. We are always here for you, but we have outside things going on as well. And we want all of you to know that you have the permission as you build your own teams to not let this take over your life. That's what we want to make sure you make it whatever you want it to be. And you get to own your time. Don't let your time and your business own you. Okay?
Okay, so I know you want to feel and touch us right now. Okay. So this next part, you're gonna want to come to our team meeting. Okay, we want to give you a hug. We want to, because you're gonna do a lot of stuff online, and you're gonna see us online and everything. And you're like, I just want to play with Haley's hair. Not my hair. Haley's hair. Right?
And Sarah's hair.
It's fine.
We put the long hairs right in the
Anyway, so this is an opportunity. We have this once a month. It's our Team All for Love meeting. It's the second Thursday of the month, and you're gonna just be around us and just feed off everybody's energy, and we just have so much fun. So much fun. So for you as a new consultant though, at 6 o'clock, we have a new consultant training. So please come to that, please. It's an hour before the meeting starts. It's just, you can meet other new consultants that are starting around the same time. That we can get each other's numbers and kind of work at the business together, right? Even though you have different sponsors, that's totally fine. You just create the sisterhood right from the get-go. And then, so the meeting starts at 7, usually lasts about an hour and a half. We're gonna have all kinds of training and education, plus some fun. You gotta have some fun. And it's in the area of Thanksgiving Point in Lehigh is where our meetings take place. And we ask that you bring $5 just to cover the rental space. And then we also do VIP nights, and these happen every other month. So with VIP, all you need to do is recruit one person. And you can come
one person
and have some fun, and we can go do all kinds of fun. This is where it's outside the meeting, so we're not doing meetings or trainings. This is just fun.
Sister,
It's just
girls' night out.
Girls' night out, basically. Okay, so please come. We'd love to touch and feel you.
With your clothes on.
If you're watching this though, and you're saying, obviously we've worked together for some time, this wouldn't have happened if we were only doing
Our own businesses, right?
internet business and never meeting each other. So, can you imagine? So we do. We want to meet you, and when you come to that new consultant training, everybody who comes as that new consultant training almost becomes like your own little squad. You're starting together. You're on that first page together. Our last team meeting, our last new consultant training, there were 5 new girls that came, and they had that moment to just bond at the very beginning. Yeah. That support system is really going to be so integral. So please come. If you are out of the Thanksgiving Point area, we do have an out-of-towner group on Facebook, and we go live in our team meetings. Katrina lives in California, so she gets a pass. If you are, what did we decide? 2.5 hours away from Thanksgiving Point, you have a pass. We don't expect you to be there because we realize more than 2.5 hours is a lot to come and go from a team meeting in one night. So if you are outside that 2.5 hour range, let us know. We'll add you to that out-of-towner group so you can at least watch those team meetings every month. If you're within 2.5 hours, I'm sorry, there are #no excuses. I drive 3 hours, so that's kind of where that 2.5 to 3 hour thing came was, you can make it happen, and you'll be grateful that you did. We don't want to make it, I'm just gonna say this, we don't want to make it easy, because nothing worth having is easy. Sacrificing a little bit of that time and putting in that extra effort will take you very far in your business, and we want to give you that strength and that foundation. So we hope that you'll come.
It's kind of a 3-in-1 though too. Like, don't use it as an excuse to not come because it's your girls' night. You can write it off on your taxes, and it fills your personal cup to get girl time. And what was the other thing I was thinking? Yeah, business. Like, it just helps you.
If you learn more, you earn more.
Yeah,
it's so true.
That is
so true. So yeah, come. Even if you come like once a quarter or every other month or whatever, and it gets you away from the kids. It gets you away from your hubby, away from the house, away from your partner. Like, it gives you a break. So
you'll never regret coming, but you might regret not coming.
Yes. Right there.
Let's quote Jessica Berglund.
Yeah.
Quotable moment.
Absolutely. So if you have made it this far far in the video, bravo, you are a student. Yay! So we're talking about
5 days
trainings.
later.
Yep, we're talking about trainings. Keep it up. Stay a student. You watching this video, you're already doing it. So bravo. Stay a student. We talked about Party School. That's on the COO. Go to YouTube. There's lots of videos. We have the channel, obviously, that you're watching here. What else is there? You want to network with like-minded people. Get in our trainings, our corporate trainings. Corporate is training 2 times a year. National training in August and World Conference in April, April sometime. That's when you can meet the women from around the world that are doing this business, as well as those that are close to you. So you can meet new friends and understand different ways to do the business, see that there are different models of the business that work for certain women. Like what was mentioned earlier, is people learn differently. So some people can watch this and get at everything, and others are just hands-on. Others would rather read a script. So just come and learn all the new and different ways.
Corporate trainings especially are just unlike. All of us have been to at least one type of corporate training. Like that's support system on the most massive scale, because we are international, and these women gather from all over the world, and it's incredible. And you get to see and hear from the CEO and Patty Brisbane. Those are very influential, I would say. Life-changing, business-changing experiences, friendship changing. Yeah, because especially when we travel to those.
When you road trip to these things, yes.
Haley always brings lingerie.
Hey, you scared me away.
No, it's really awesome.
If you haven't been there, you need to be there.
You just need to be there. It's not freaky, but it's fun.
100% worth it.
No, those are like the ultimate. You get together, you get to bond, you get to learn, all those good things. Corporate does come to Salt Lake City on several occasions, or to whatever area you might be in. They travel the nation, usually at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. This year they will have done it twice. They came to, 3 times. They came to Salt Lake. This year in January. They came just a couple weeks ago. They're coming again in November. So.
And July.
Connectivity. Oh my goodness, 4 times this year. So especially if you're near one of those trainings, don't miss them. Yeah, you'll want to be there for sure. Okay, then Katrina's up.
Oh, yeah, that's me. All right, so Facebook events. So you have parties coming up. You want to create a Facebook event for your hostess. You want to take that off of her hands. Anything that you can do for your hostesses to make it easier for them, the better. And takes one thing away from them, and then it's also kind of like in your hands. So if you create that Facebook event, you can put all the information on there that you want to tell the guests beforehand. And you can just invite your hostess as a co-host, so that way she can still invite all of her friends to the event, but you still have control over that event. And one of the biggest reasons with that too is if your hostess decides to cancel, she can't cancel the event and delete it. You are still in control of that event, so you can still have access to like all of her friends and reach out to them and see if they want to host a party and whatnot too. And then you don't lose everything. But mainly just to keep your information on there, get people kind of excited about the event and what's coming up and what to expect. So on the event, you can also go live, or you can pre-record a video and just introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about Pure Romance, tell them about you, tell them how you got involved, and whatnot. And that way they can kind of put a face to the name, and they can feel a little bit more comfortable about who you are and what's going to be happening at the party before the party happens.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is making sure in the description they know no men.
Yes.
And no children allowed. I think I learned that the hard way when I used to let other hostesses make their own events. They didn't say those types of things, and then people would show up with babies and men. So that's one in the description. You want to make sure people know what to expect. It's not just a hey, come hang out at my house kind of situation. But also, I'm realizing just to tag on why you add them as a co-host. That way when they invite people, So let's say if I made the event and I only invited Kim, when Kim invites people, they're going to receive an invitation that says, you're invited to Danny's party. Okay, when you make them a co-host, they invite people and it will say, Kim invited you to her party. Does that make sense? So your hostess has to be a co-host for that association to happen.
Okay, you also want to get a good invitation app, okay? So like Canva, Word Swag, these are great ways to invite them in ways not just Facebook. Not everybody's on Facebook or cares about Facebook invitations. So you want to give them other opportunities to send an invitation for the host to send an invitation. So you can pre-create them and just change the information in it, and you can do things like a save the date. I do a save the date and an invitation. You can do just one extra thing, but make sure you're doing something besides just Facebook. It's going to help to increase your party attendance, and make sure that your hostess understands that when they're doing more than just the Facebook and talking to people, that's going to make a really big difference in your party attendance. There's also Facebook Post Scheduler. You can't do this in events, but you can use this in your VIP groups, your client groups. And you can post out for a month, just schedule it out, and then you don't have to be on there all the time scheduling or posting things. Same with your opportunity group or money train lounge, whatever you want to call it. Those groups that you have to help your business, if you just schedule those out, you don't have to be spending too much time on them.
I also, with the invitations, I do paper invites from the COO because no one uses paper invites and they think it's so fun. So there you go. So at every party, make sure you're playing a booking game, because if you don't have parties, you don't have business. So make sure you're playing a booking game. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Find what feels natural to you. Make sure you're playing games with a purpose. Don't just play a random game and hope that it sells stuff or books parties. Like, make sure you're being very intentional with your games. And you also want to be playing a sponsoring or recruiting party. Don't prejudge who's going to join the business or care about the business, because then we wouldn't have such different people. And you would always be wrong, for sure. So you can ask people what games they play, ask the team, look on the COO. I know we all have our own favorites, so. Yeah.
Yes. People will book more parties at parties because they're excited and they just had a lot of fun. You will always book more parties if you just book them from parties. Booking parties outside of parties, everybody make your booking for parties outside of parties face.
The worst. And can I just add that I love that we can change it, but try something and try it for like at least a month. Don't
Give it
just
a
try
good
it once.
effort.
Yeah.
It's always uncomfortable at first, and it never really goes great the first time. So try it a couple times before you totally give up on it. But if it's not working, move on to something else. Totally change it up.
Yes.
Whatever works for you.
So you played a booking game, and now someone wants to book a party. If you set a date with them and then just show up at their house the day of the party, they're probably going to forget you were coming, and there's very likely going to be nobody else there. So,
Been there, done that.
Been ghosted.
yes. So make sure you're doing hostess coaching. Once someone sets up a date with you, make sure you're following up with them. Send a hostess packet. You'll find something that fits for you. That's kind of a blanket statement about everything that we're talking about. But with hostess coaching, you'll find something that fits and feels natural to you. Send something to them in the mail 3 to 4 weeks before the party. It just reminds them that you set a date, you've made a plan, and you are on my calendar. I am looking forward to seeing you. From there, you'll find a schedule that feels right. Most people reach out to that hostess 2 or 3 times before the party, maybe weekly. Again, you don't want to be overbearing, like, don't forget, we have a party, don't forget, I'm going to be there, because, you're probably already feeling how that would come across, right? But if you're reaching out just enough to remind them, just so you know, a really good way to do that is by sharing tips leading up to the party. So hostess coaching tips. Make sure you are adding a personal touch when you reach out to people, adding that invitation that we talked about, that custom invitation that you made for that party, sharing that with them so that they can share it with their friends and family before the party. Just make sure that you're keeping in touch with them. Hey, how are things going? Is there anything I can do to help you be ready for Saturday or whatever it is? Just making sure that you have that line of communication open so that when you text them the day before and you're like, hey, don't forget about tomorrow, they're like, I'm not gonna be home, right? Not gonna lie, that's happened to me quite a few times. It's really frustrating. Let's be honest, sometimes even if you're reaching out to them every week, there will still be things that come up.
Yeah.
But if you're keeping that line of communication open, it's not gonna happen the day before or when you're in your car on your way to their house. So
that has happened.
Yeah. So along those lines, corporate requires that you give 10% of the party sales in free product. That's the only thing that corporate requires. If you talk to just about any consultant, we kind of have our own system or rewards that we offer our hostesses. It's a little bit different for each of us, and it's kind of whatever works. Again, corporate requires the 10%. A lot of people offer a free gift to the hostess the night of the party. You can offer an additional percent off. Just make sure you're thinking about it in advance, that you're not handing the hostess $100 on your way out the door. Like, hey, nice to see you, here's what I owe you. Because that's not going to be good for the longevity of your business. But with that being said, the better the reward you can offer a hostess, the more likely more people are to book a party with you. If you say in a party, hey, I'll give you a high five for hosting a party, nobody's going to do that. But if you can offer them something like, whoa, 40% off, that sounds awesome. I want 40% off of all of these things that I'm going to buy tonight. Then they're willing to kick their families out and clean their house to have a party for you.
Yes, and they'll be maybe less likely to cancel because they have something that they want to get. So it's a good thing to have. I want to tell you a little story to make my next point. When we talk about combo selling and upselling things, I know don't think I've ever heard anyone say, I want to be a salesperson. Usually you hear people say, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be pushy, I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a salesperson. You're a shares person, first of all, but second of all, you are the professional. So when people come into the shopping room, especially when we're talking intimate pleasure and health, okay? This is kind of a big deal, and it's kind of something people want to have a really good experience. It's not something they want a mediocre experience. They want it to be the best it can be. Chris Ciccanelli, our CEO, shares a story that I think makes this point that I'll never forget. He was traveling. He was on tour. He needed a new printer. The printer in their traveling bus went out, so he went to the nearest Best Buy or whatever it was, went into the printer section and assumed, obviously, that the person standing there as the printer professional would set him up with everything he needed. He buys a printer, goes back to the bus, realizes when he gets there, there's no ink in the box. He has to go back to the Best Buy to get ink. Okay, goes in, gets the ink, goes back, finds out that because of his specific hookups, which he had told the guy, like, I'm in a traveling bus, you know, he tells him the situation, and again, he's assuming that this salesperson, this professional, would have sent him home with everything that he needed. So he went the first time to get the printer, had to go back a second time to get the ink, he had to go back a third time to get a specific cord for the printer to work in his traveling bus. How do you think he felt when he was done? He never wanted to go back to that Best Buy ever again, right? And he definitely didn't respect that person as a professional. When these people come into your shopping room, a lot of them are struggling. A lot of them are having major discomfort, anxiety, nervousness, pain, whatever the case may be. They come in expecting you to be the professional. You have to get rid of the fear that you're being a salesperson. If there's something that you know you can share with them to make their experience the best it can be, that is all on you, and it's your responsibility to at least offer those ideas. They always have the ability to tell you no, but all you can expect is that they have the backbone to tell you no if they don't want it, okay? Things like a toy tote with lubricant and cleaner to make sure toys are taken care of. You don't want to hear from them 2 months down the road when they wash their toy with Dawn soap every night and it's ruined and dry, okay? The whipped and cleaner with male toys. It's not going to feel good for a male to use a male toy without whipped lubricant. Things like this are what have to be known so they go home knowing that their experience is going to be everything they expected it to be. Because as soon as it's painful or inconvenient, something breaks, and it's based on something you held back out of your fear of selling, that's back on you, okay? So just be confident. You're the professional. You're the person that they trust, and they'll drop the money. Another big leader in the company, her name is Heather Pillow. When she was going on a African safari, she'd never been to Africa, and she knew that they were going to be climbing rocks, climbing cliffs. So she went in to talk to somebody like Dick's Sporting Goods to ask, hey, if I'm going rock climbing, what do I need? And the rock climbing, the dude in the area, like, was so vague in his direction for her. She left so pissed off. She was like, he doesn't know. I was ready to drop $3,000. I had $3,000. I would have dropped on anything and everything he told me that I needed. He didn't give me any direction. She was very turned off by his lack of help. People are coming to you for help. You need to give it to them. If they ask you questions you don't have answers to, you have access to people who do. So never let your lack of information keep you from giving them the best experience possible. It's okay to be vulnerable, transparent, let them know. I'm still learning as well, but every experience you have will give you more ammo in your own bag to pull out to make everybody's experience the best it can be, okay? Look, we're on our last page. You ready for this? So make goals. I mean, I could talk for the next hour about making goals. You really need to have a vision for your business. What is it? You don't just walk into Subway and say, I want a sandwich. Did you hear that silence? That was You're welcome. But really, right? Like, how happy are you going to be with the result if you don't line it out, okay? What are your goals for this business? How much money do you want to make every month? How many nights every month do you want to get out of the house? Like, whatever your goals are, talk with me, talk with your leaders, talk with other consultants. Let's make you a plan to get you where you want to go. If you want to hit it hard and you want to make it big in this business, corporate has levels of prestige you can make. They've got something called Rookie of the Year. The first year in business, it's selling $36,000 and recruiting 13. 10?
Is it 10?
It's 10.
10?
It's 10.
They've changed it. I have been Rookie of the Year. Sarah Chapman's been Rookie of the Year. This one's going to be our next one this month. It's possible. You need to make a plan for it, okay? You get to walk stage at World Conference. You get to be in all the lights. If that's something that's exciting for you, this is your optimal opportunity, okay? They also have a President's Club. I believe the current requirements for President's Club is that you sell 65,000 in the year and recruit 24. Okay? Some of them want it, and it does, it feels scary.
Let it scare you.
My sponsor, the best advice she gave me when I joined, if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. They need to be just outside of your, something that's going to drive you, something that's going to push you and make you a little uncomfortable. So President's Club, when you reach President's Club, you get a call with the CEO once a month on a corporate level to know maybe what products are coming out, any kit sales that are coming up, things like that. You also get a trip with all the President's Club once a year. Above President's Club, there's board of directors. The requirement there is $75,000 a year, 24 recruits, and your team has to sell, I think, $450,000 in a year. So these are really exciting levels to hit. There are these prestige levels that you get to actually have a say in the company. You get to have a no behind the scenes. You get trips. You get all sorts of benefits. There's no reason that any of you shouldn't make that kind of goal if that's what you desire, okay? No shame on anyone that either doesn't make them or doesn't have desire to. you are your own boss and you get to choose. But if those are things you want to shoot for, talk with some people and make a goal to get there.
All right, another great resource for you in hostess coaching and follow-up, because sometimes we just drop the ball after the parties and we don't connect with a girl who's struggling to have an orgasm or has opened up to us about something, right? We want to make sure that we keep tabs on them, because we're in the relationship business. So a key component to doing this, and what of course I have benefited from because my husband created it, is a software called Engage. Okay, and Engage is that. It's engaging with your customers and your clients, okay? And it's gonna save you time. It's basically a follow-up text message service. It's automated, so you create your own language and how you want to verbally speak to your hostess. So going back to the host coaching, which Breanna talked about, and laying it out in a map. So day 3 you send her this, day 5 you send her this, the day of the party you're gonna send her this text, and this is done all automated. You're not going into your phone and like looking up Haley and sending her this text. It's already doing it for you. Okay, it's gonna make your life easier. I promise. It's been great, and just follow up is just key for business, right? It just keeps you in business, but they feel appreciated when you actually reach out to them and like, oh my gosh, she actually remembered this about me or whatever. And the cool thing with Engage, yes, it's automated, but you can go in and actually say something random to her too. Like you can have conversations even though you've sent her an automated text before that, okay? So it's really cool that you can still create those relationships, and it's super simple to, well, I shouldn't say so. It's simple for me to use, but you're definitely gonna have training. We have Facebook groups where you get training videos to help you set up. It's like another language to learn, but once you learn it, it'll be fantastic. So fantastic, it's totally worth it. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can just do a free demo. If you open up your phone and you go into your text message app and type the number 949-353-6950, and in the line just put the word demo, hit enter, and then it's just a free one-on-one training with Trent or somebody on his team. My husband's Trent. And he'll walk you through how it actually works. And if it's something that you want to do, great. There's 2 different services you can do. A basic service that's $20 a month currently. It might have went up. See, I don't know these things. I don't do this, but basically. Or you can go to the next level where you're going to actually get a lot more hands-on training. So anyway, just an excellent service. I can obviously reach out to me personally and talk to me about this, but it's definitely something that would be really beneficial in your business.
Say the number again.
So 949-353-6950. Text the word demo.
Especially if you have another job, or if you feel like you're running everywhere every day of your life with children. If you're in one of those 2 categories, you absolutely need Engage. It will improve the longevity of your business, the effective productivity of your business, stress-free, sleep at night. People are getting texts when they need to. It's awesome. So talk to Sarah if you have more questions.
Yeah, don't just be a one-night stand. Like, do your follow-up, and that helps maintain that. So, all right. Regardless of whatever kit you started with, some things that'll be beneficial to have in your first order is women's kiss and men's spray. That way you can take the product and just squirt it in the lid, and that way they can smell the different scents that we have to offer them. All right.
So even if you don't have the other products on hand, they can smell what options you have.
All right, and this is in your shopping room, makes it easier. Also, have a piece or 2 of lingerie, because for some women, bedroom accessories are taboo. They don't want to talk about it, they don't want to see them, they don't want to buy them. But worldwide, lingerie is accepted. Alright, so that way you can pass around at your party, they can feel it, they can see how nice and soft it is. Our lingerie really is like top notch.
Yeah.
It really is super good. You'll want to order the sizes medium and large to have. That way when they try it on at your party, they know if they need to go a size down or if they need to go a size up. Okay, so it gives them a good span. What else is there? Yeah, and you can just build it as you go. You don't have to buy all the things all at once. Alright, just get the women's kiss and the men's spray and then 1 or 2 pieces of lingerie. Alright?
That's a great first order, and it'll give you just what you need to give them still the experience so they know what they're taking home, even though they're buying it from a catalog as you're getting going. It's a good idea.
Alright, training videos. So you've learned a lot through this video that we're doing right now, but there obviously is a ton of information out there. So we have created our own YouTube channel for our team. You should have received the link to that in your onboarding email from your sponsor. You can go to that YouTube and or you can go to YouTube and search Team All for Love, and it should also come up that way. You can also go to the COO under videos and check out any of the training videos that you might be interested on there. And there's a lot, so whatever it may be that you want to focus on or that you want to learn more about, it's out there already for you. And there are tons and tons of resources, like we've been saying, on COO and on YouTube. Some really reputable consultants are Heather Pillow, Ashley Livermore, Jana Vokalit, Lucy Heinen, and Kayla Frazier. Those are some really great consultants that you can learn a lot from. So if you go and search for their name on YouTube, you can watch their videos.
Okay, so don't be afraid to offer incentives for guests at the parties to bring more guests, because the more the merrier, and the more butts and seats, the more money in your pocket. Okay, so you can try like ordering or giving them like $5 off their order if they bring a guest, or even $10 off their order if their guest's friend has never been to a Pure Romance party. So Pure Romance Virgin, that's what it's called.
Yeah, those ones. Those are the ones that spend the most because you just blow their mind.
Yes.
So it's awesome to get the virgins there. I'd pay all day to have. I'd pay $10 to have a virgin in my party.
Party virgins.
Party virgin.
Party virgins.
True. I think you all get an idea of who we are right now.
Are you done?
Yes.
Are you done?
Anything else to say? You want to say you're done?
I just didn't want to cut you off. One personal recommendation that I have is to get binders or the waiter check. What do you even call those?
Check holders?
Yeah. When you put your card in the thing and you leave it on the table. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you
Restaurant
get those, sure. I don't know how you would search for them, but
Yeah.
probably all good keywords.
Receipt holder, yeah.
Anyway, if you get binders or those things, the waiter checkbook things, you can cut the spine off of them, and then you have 2 lap boards for people to ride on at your parties. So with the binders, if you get binders, you can go just to the dollar store and get a couple of binders, cut the spines off, and you have lap boards that looks very professional, very put together at parties, and people aren't trying to like write on their legs with the pen poking through the paper. I've also been there. So it gives them something to write on, but it still looks very professional, intentional. The only thing I'll note is if you get the binders, when you go to buy them, make sure the spine is attached, or the rings are attached to the spine, because when you cut the spine off, you don't need the rings anymore, but if the rings are attached to one of the sides, then you'll be sacrificing that side and can't use it as a lap board. So just make sure that the spine has the rings attached to it so that you can just cut that off and throw it away.
Okay. VIP program is a great way to boost your sales. There's a bunch of different things that you can use. Some people do a pleasure box. You could do scratch offs. I just did a video about that. That's on our YouTube channel. Just something that's going to encourage them to spend more money. They're getting either a prize or an extra discount so that they're going to spend more, and that's going to increase your sales.
Absolutely. Okay, so last but not least, actually, I have something after this. These people don't know. They don't expect them. Haley's getting nervous. Okay.
It's not like the unknown.
So, this also might not be incorporated into your business right now, but I like to mention it just again to give you permission to do something like this, but also to realize that as your business grows, I never want anyone to feel like you're running a hamster wheel, or that you're feeling burdened or overburdened with all the things, from parties to clients to back orders to team members to all the things you get. This one has to breathe right now. Probably not why she's breathing, but it sounded like it was like a no. We've all reached. I remember the point in my business where it was thriving on such a scale that I felt like every day I was running a crazy hamster wheel, which again, that defeats the purpose of why I joined this business. My lifestyle is my family. This is here to support and supplement it. So that was the point where I stood back and asked myself, what is requiring my time? What is taking the most time and energy in my business? And personally for me, that was mail, my team, preparing like lap boards and labeling product and all those types of back office work. Also preparing for parties with Facebook events, invitations, all that stuff, and follow up. So those were 5 things that ironically there are 5 days in a week, Monday through Friday. And so I personally have delegated each of those duties to a day. So Mondays I do mail. I might mail my hostess packets, maybe thank you cards to hostesses from the week prior, cards to team members, things like that. If I'm dealing with mail, I do that on Monday. Tuesday is my team day. As I've mentioned, it's both for my current team and also maybe posting on my Money Train Lounge or reaching out to people who are interested in the business. Anything that's going to help my current team or grow my team is what I do Tuesdays. Wednesdays is bulk stuff, so labeling product, preparing lap boards, catalogs, any of that stuff. Thursdays, I'm preparing for parties by doing Facebook events and all the invitations and stuff. Fridays used to be follow-up day, but now with Engage, I don't have a day specified for that, but it might be something you'd consider. What this did for me was it gave me the peace of mind knowing that every part of my business would be touched in a week. It didn't have to feel like it was going to, like, from morning to night, I had to think about all these things I needed to do. I handle one duty in a day, and I know that I can look at everything else on the day when it comes. So when my duty for that day is done, I can walk away and just be a mom, okay? This type of system works for some. It doesn't work for everyone. It's just an idea to consider. There are other ways that each of us lead in different ways. Talk to your sponsors, talk with other consultants, figure out what works for you, but ultimately you have the right to make it whatever you want it to be, okay? So this is how we're gonna end. What time do you have to go?
I don't have to go anymore.
Oh, cool. Okay, this is the last thing we're gonna do because I do have a party, and everybody here we all have lives, and it's time to maybe leave. But
It always has to end, darn it.
what I want to do, and I'm gonna start on this side of the table this time because we started over there the last time. So give everyone one business tip. What's the one business tip? If you were going to give one business tip, what would it be?
To me?
Nope. Catching you right off guard.
One business tip. Just go. Just go. Just try your first party. Totally mess up. Totally forget your toys at home. Just try your first party. It won't be that terrible. We've all messed up royally, and we're still here. So just go and try and have fun stories to tell afterwards.
I love it. That's perfect. Yeah. See, this is why I didn't want them to rehearse it. Okay.
Yeah, mine, I'm just gonna add on to Haley's. Don't worry about being perfect. I know it's so easy to get wrapped up in watching other girls on the team succeed in what they're doing, and you have to do the same things. You don't have to do it any one way. You can do it your own way, and it doesn't ever have to be perfect. I remember my first party, I was literally reading what coochie was like off of the bottle. So don't feel like you have to have anything memorized. Just start. And being imperfect is the best way that you can do it, because you can connect to people so much more that way. So just start, just jump right in, and don't worry about it, because even 3 years down the road, I'm still learning leaps and bounds. So
Yes, absolutely. To talk about the hamster wheel, I do best if I calendar my time. I don't have a to-do list. I actually schedule everything. That took me a minute to understand, but if I can go to like every Tuesday and I see, okay, Tuesday from 9:45 to 10 a.m. I'm doing this. Then from 10 a.m. to 10:30 I'm doing this for my business. And then I can take a break and do lunch with my kids or whatever else. I do better with a calendar than I do with a to-do list. Does that make sense? Because my to-do list never ends, and it just goes on.
To-do list
Yeah,
never ends?
and I get the feeling like I'm not making any progress because I wasn't able to get all the check marks on my list. But if I'm able to do what I calendared, then I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like I'm successful, and then I'm also still able to be present with my family. So,
Love it.
do what works best.
I'll go. Get to know Patty Brisbane. That's probably my number one recommendation. She has a book. You can buy it on the COO. It's called Pure Romance Between the Sheets by Patty Brisbane. She's the founder of Pure Romance. She has Patty Brisbane Foundation, which is the only foundation for women's sexual health in the nation. Really knowing and understanding her and her mission gives you all the confidence and gives you the sense of who you're representing, to realize you're not a stripper, you're not just the dildo lady, you're not just, okay, like people sometimes, I don't know if I'm the only one who hears all the taboo and all the misunderstandings and all the misconceptions about sex and everything that happens in people's bedrooms and what they think people think we're having orgies at our parties, right? And so it gets really difficult it can feel difficult to stand strong with confidence for what you're doing. But when you really know and understand Patty Brisbane and the real mission of Pure Romance, and that you're not just a consultant out there trying to sell sex, I think it really deepens your purpose and gets your mind in the place that you can share what you do with anyone, anywhere, and never feel ashamed or afraid of what you do. So that's been something that's been very foundational for me.
Okay. I would say push yourself and be adaptable, because you are your own business owner and it's not going to be easy. We all struggle all the time. And you have to be able to change, and if things aren't working, change it, make it better. And it's uncomfortable, and it can be uncomfortable to talk about the business and push yourself to talk to strangers. But the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the more you're going to grow as a person, and the more your business is going to grow. I think I've learned more about myself through this business than I ever thought possible, and that's because I push myself and I do things that I would have never done before. Being in front of 20 women at one time and doing a party is terrifying, but when you push yourself, you grow, and being able to change and roll with the punches is really important.
Mine would be to not take no's personally. You're gonna have lots of people that tell you, no, I don't want to book a party, no, I don't want to come to a party, no, I don't want to join your team. There are gonna be lots and lots of no's, and if you take each one of those personally, you're gonna last about a week, honestly. When people tell you no, they're not telling you no. And a lot of times when people tell you no, if you are patient and commit to the process and be confident in what you're doing, a lot of times those people will come around and say, you know what, maybe I will come to a party, or maybe I will host a party, now that I see what you're doing, or now that I see that it's lasted this long. I've had a couple girls now that come back and are like, okay, this was clearly not just a phase, and now they want to see what it's all about. So if you're patient and don't take those no's as a personal attack, then you can be there when those people decide to change their answer from no to yes.
My business tip would be to, and this isn't easy to do, but show vulnerability and be relatable, because that's how you connect with your people.
Yeah.
Straight up. So I don't know what else to say. And study Breanna Brown's work. Period.
Yeah.
Anything of hers. And of course, I'm adding to books because I love books. But yeah, I mean, staying a student, learn about vulnerability, learn about all those good things, and that's like the biggest thing ever. Just make those heart-to-heart connections with people. Cry with them. Like work through those things that they're dealing with, because it's not easy for them. So yeah, that's mine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
1 hour and 40 minutes, you guys. Good job. Wait a minute. Everybody, thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. We can see you. Put on your calendar right now. The next team meeting is the second Thursday of
The month.
this month or the next month. I don't know when you're watching this. But come to the new consultant training, 6 o'clock, the second Tuesday of every month.
Thursday.
Yep. Second Thursday. We can't wait to meet you.
Or watch
Welcome.
online.
And yeah, or watch online.
Summer.
Don't miss it. Don't miss them.
Yeah.
Kiss the screen, Haley.
I'm not gonna kiss the screen.